Hi folks, welcome to On Campus. My name is Mike Alley and I'm your host. Don't touch that dial, but do get a pen and pencil and a piece of paper ready, because we're going to talk today about Storyteller Saturdays. The one we're going to talk about specifically, December 7th, is going to be the story of Father Christmas being told by a wonderful gentleman named Jim Two Crows Wallen. That's him right there in his costume, and that's coming up December 7th along with his daughter Christy Rose and his granddaughter Rebecca. But talking about storytelling in general, welcome, Jim.
Thank you, Mike. It's always a pleasure to be here with you.
I know that there's a Storytellers Association here in Kansas City that you kind of help guide along its route and so forth. Will you tell me about it?
Sure, be happy to. River and Prairie Story Weavers, we're a Kansas City-based group. We have about 80 members. We have a mailing list of well over 200 people, so lots of people in the community are interested in storytelling and the revival of the storytelling movement. So, yeah, it's a pleasure to be here with you today representing River and Prairie Story Weavers.
Well, it's great to have you. This is what you do.
This is what I do for a living, full-time. Last year, out of 365 days, I did 337 performances, so I stay fairly busy at it.
I would say, of course, there's some 2 a day.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
It's not every day of the week.
No, it's not.
I know. I tell you, I love stories. I've seen you work many times. Would you tell me a story?
Oh, I'd be happy to. I think I ought to introduce myself as who I am today, dressed in this Santa Fe costume. You know, this is the 175th anniversary of the Santa Fe Trail this year. So if you were traveling down the trail in the 1840s, and if you would have seen this guy dressed just like this is the way he would have introduced himself to you. I am that same Two Crows, fresh from the mountains, half horse, half alligator, and a little touch to the snapping turtle. Why, I've waded the mighty Mississippi and jumped the muddy Mo, and drank the Cimarron pert near it dry. And if you don't believe me, the next time you're down there around Cimarron territory, you just look and see if there ain't a little bit of water running through that river. Now, I can ride a streak of lightning or slide down a thorn tree without getting a scratch. I can grab an old grizz, bear hug him till his eyes pop out, pull the claws off his bare feet, and use them for toothpicks. I can outrun, out-jump, out-dive, out-shoot, out-holler, out-lick, out-throw any human being alive, 'cause our Two Crows, a child of the Santa Fe Trail. Think you'd remembered that feller?
I think so. Well, tell me more.
Well, all right. Well, you know, there were always lots of animals that were on the Santa Fe Trail, and probably one of the critters that most people tried to avoid. Now, most people think bears, and there were a lot of instances of bears on the Santa Fe Trail. In fact, I was just reading a couple of weeks ago where in Independence, Missouri in 1821, a feller went out and in one day killed 21 bears. But the critter they probably wanted to stay away from more than anybody else in the whole wide world was my friend right here, the skunk. Now, I really like the skunk. I like the black and the white color combination of his fur, and I like the softness of his fur, and I kind of even like the way he smells. But I want to tell you the story of how skunk got his stripe. You see, a long time ago, some of the people said that all skunks were pure white. Now, at this time when all skunks were pure white, there was one skunk who was so vain. Now, Mike, what that meant is he liked himself better than anything else in the whole wide world, including the Lion King, Toy Story, Pocahontas, and the Hunchback of Notre Dame all put together. And because he liked himself better than anything else in the whole wide world, every day he would go down to the creek and he would look at himself in the creek and he would say, "Oh, I'm so pretty with my beautiful pure white fur. Oh, I'm so pretty. Ain't I pretty?" Well, one day he was out walking in the woods and he saw a big, tall cottonwood tree. And he climbed up that tree, and when he got up to the top, there was a big owl's nest. And right in the middle of that owl's nest were 2 baby owls. He looked at those baby owls, and he said, "Ew, you're ugly. And I'm so beautiful with my pure white fur. Oh, I'm so pretty. And you're ugly." Well, those baby owls, they started to cry. Hoo, 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 hoo. Now, if you'd like to know how Mama Owl helped save the day and her babies, and how Skunk turned out to be black with them white stripes, you're going to have to come and see me at one of those Storyteller Saturdays.
Will you tell me later?
Why, sure I will.
Oh, yeah, right. I know you won't. You keep secrets. Well, how long have you, tell the folks your heritage, because
Yes.
Two Crows is a genuine.
Two Crows is, my great-grandfather was full-blood Cherokee Indian, which makes me 1/8 Cherokee. It makes me 7/8 a whole bunch of other stuff. And that's why the blue eyes and the beard. But I grew up with a rich heritage of my grandfather. I was the oldest son of an oldest son, so I was very fortunate that I got to know my great-grandfather, and he would tell me the traditional Cherokee stories. Incidentally, how the skunk got his stripe is a Cherokee story. My grandfather was born and raised in the Ozark Hills of Missouri and was probably the best tall tale teller I ever knew. He was so good at pulling you into a story and then hitting you over the head with the punchline. I became a full-time professional storyteller. My daughter, Christy Rose, is a full-time professional storyteller. And my granddaughter, Rebecca Rose, when she was 3 years old, was written up in the National Storytelling Association magazine as the youngest storyteller in America. So we're now into our 6th generation of stories. And it's very important that we share our family histories and our family stories. And that's part of what River and Prairie does, is give people an opportunity to come. We have monthly meetings, and they can come and share their family history and their family stories.
Jim, I appreciate you being here. It's always a pleasure.
Oh, thank you, Mike.
Let's do this more.
All right.